It's a very useful Government of India, Ministry of Women and Child Development publication, Handbook on Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace. Once you go to the workplace, you think that after college you are in a protective environment. You go to an office, you work in either a government or private sector office, and even there you're subjected to various forms of harassment. I've come across a case where a person called a much younger person and showed her pornography. And so that kind of thing is an offense. You must not take it lightly, it has to be reported. Next. So these are the important central acts passed by Parliament, which extends throughout India. The POCSO Act, the protection of children from sexual offences, that is pedophilia. Pedophilia is a rampant offence. In 25 years ago, when I was in Scotland Yard, they have a separate pedophilia division. In India, we do not have a separate pedophilia division. Not that it is not at all in existence, but probably it is not at the epidemic level it is there in certain Western countries. And most of them prey on children in developing countries, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, Thailand, and so on. So this needs to be addressed at the national level. Preventing of trafficking in children. 2 years ago, I assisted a group, an NGO, who brought me intelligence or information that parents were bringing their, not yet of age children, and in the name of them getting them a role in a TV production, a so-called producer was actually trafficking children, and those people were arrested. So the public plays a great role. The police are not everywhere. As I will later tell you, the police are only 1% of the total population of a country like India, a state like Tamil Nadu. We have 100,000 policemen as against 7 crore population in the state of Tamil Nadu. We have a 1 million strong police force deployed on various duties, not just in enforcement of laws, across the country to manage a population of 1.3 billion people. So unless people are brought into a collaborative partnership with the police, you cannot solve most of these problems. First thing is you need to build awareness of laws, awareness of the types of punishments, awareness of the need for positive protection, not just these are all negative protection. Deterrence is only a negative protection. But the need to provide an enabling environment for women to be there at their best. More than half the population of the country. You are the majority. It's your right to demand and expect the state and the country to protect you. But it requires everybody's cooperation. And that's why I will talk later about initiative we started, which all of you can be members of. Next. Even the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 2014. Because you see, young girls, they go out for parties, and what happens at those parties could also lead to, rape and other things without consent. Because under the influence of psychotropic substances, drugs, the offenders will prey upon victims. The drinks could be laced, so you should be one needs to be very careful where one goes and accepts what drink from whom. Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act is to protect. Now, of course, after the Nirbhaya, they have brought down the age from 18 to 16 to be considered a juvenile. And in heinous offences, even a 16-year-old will face the same penalties. Next. Cyberbullying is rampant. You'll find that unknown people will seek to become friends with women of various ages. And next thing they would get messages through the messaging system proposing to them or addressing them with epithets and various other abusive words. And that's a danger, and that's how to deter it. We'll deal with it later. These are first describing the state of the offences. Next. So we have the case of Amanda Todd, a well-known case. We have had cases in Tamil Nadu itself, which I'll show you in the next slide. She killed herself at the age of 15 in her home in Canada. She posted a video on YouTube in which she used a series of flashcards to tell her experience of being blackmailed into exposing herself via webcam. And that video went viral after her death, resulting in international media attention. So photographs being morphed, videos being utilized, sometimes by so-called boyfriends or those they were in an intimate relationship or things like that, is a great danger. Next. In Salem, we had this case of a 21-year-old woman whose photographs were exposed and she killed herself. Next. So we have this act. That's what soon after this act was passed, we conducted that seminar in your college. Section 4, penalty for harassment of women. Whoever commits or participates in or abets harassment of women in or within the precincts of any educational institution. It could happen within an educational institution. You have read recently reports of teachers preying on very minor children, tuition teachers. And that's why parents of our generation should be very careful not to allow their, particularly girl children, to be unsupervised in closed rooms, and there should always be an eye on that. Even in places of worship, temple, bus stops, most of you would have faced this threat while commuting in crowded buses, and you don't know what to do because the person quickly gets off the bus, the offender, soon after it happens. But nowadays we have devices at hand by which you can, collect evidence, person's image before he or she gets off the bus. So you must not tolerate such things, but report it. The increasing of reporting cases will lead ultimately to greater deterrence, punishment, and prevention. So all these offences are cognizable. That means the police have to, once you give a complaint, they have to take cognizance and register an FIR and take action. And they're non-bailable. The police cannot give bail, and they have to move bail only in the court of law. Next. So this is a very useful app, free app. How many of you have seen it? This you can download yourself straight away. It's available on the Tamil Nadu Police Citizen Portal. If you just scan the barcode on your phone, the whole app is downloaded on your thing. Not only to report sexual offences, it would be useful to report any type of offence. What are the offences you can report? We'll show you. It's all-round reporting device. Next. So that app can be used even for reporting theft in your house. So you, instead of being just a potential victim, you become a person who is a potential enforcer, a partner with the police. Your parents will look on you as pillars of support, not as vulnerable people. So since you are tech savvy, you can download that app. Any type of offense can be reported through that app, and immediately results in a FIR being registered. So FIR cannot be refused. Most of the time, the complaint from the public is that when you go to the police, they hesitate in taking the complaint. They don't register a FIR. It requires some higher officer to call in. But here, this technology interface is very important. 10 years back, I wrote about it that you must eliminate human interface and make it a machine interface, so that at the reporting stage, there is no filtering. Afterwards, it can be evaluated whether there is evidence, collecting the evidence, and whether the case is chargeable and punishable, triable in a court. But reporting, there should be no filtering. Every citizen should have a right to report every type of offense, even if she just feels threatened. So that device is, I think, it can be universally used by anybody resident in Tamil Nadu. Whether you are traveling in a bus, whether you have faced even a case of your bag being snatched or chain being snatched. Even these, actually, even though they don't include it under sexual harassment, I think even snatching of chains is a kind of harassment of women, because it's not men who become victims. They always look for women who are wearing a chain or an ornament and they try to grab it. So that is also a form of hidden harassment of women. So this is the most valuable thing to address the issue of reporting of all types of harassment, including sexual harassment, all types of crimes, and it can result in a FIR straight away. And with the FIR is what triggers action with the police. Once you have an FIR, then you can pursue it. You can write to higher ups and saying, I've given a complaint. It can even result in media exposure if there is not enough response. Next. The faculty were asking for the phone numbers. You can take a snapshot of this. This is how you need to be alert. As soon as you see it, what should you do if you're alert? Take out your cell phones, take a shot. Use technology, they are your best friend in your hour of need.
Phone not allowed. Students' phone not allowed.
They are not allowed.
No, we send this information to them.
Yeah, it will be sent to you, okay. The phone can be often the cause of trouble also. So that is why the college, in its wisdom, doesn't allow you to bring it to class. So you see, even social media itself becomes channels for inviting threats. So one of the ways to deter it is don't ever accept an invitation from an unknown person, a stranger. Never accept on Facebook. How many of you accepted friends from, status from strangers? Nobody here. I think all of you are very savvy and aware. Never do that, because you don't know, the person may be posing as a girl but maybe a sexual predator. There are a large number of cases which you have read even in yesterday's paper. Internationally it's happening. The picture may not be anything to do with the person who's actually using the keyboard. And then they arrange a meeting and this led to even murder, rape, and all kinds of issues. So all these social media, you have to have certain safeguards. One is never reveal your location. You must always disable the location information. Any of you reveal your location, it will show you Phoenix Mall. So what will happen? So the person who is trying to prey on you will know that you are in Phoenix Mall and exposes you to a danger when you are not aware of it. So don't reveal your location. That is one of the things. And share, you must remove that thing where you share with all users, but only with friends. Only with known friends on Facebook, Twitter. Are you banned from social media? They are allowed to use social media? No. You won't be able to ban it, because it's done all on their own time at home. It's impossible to ban it. But rather, instead of banning it, create awareness so that they utilize it to protect themselves rather than expose themselves to harm. So these numbers can be shared with all for police control room. Some people are saying they feel a little inhibited about calling 100 and are not sure of the response. You call Women's Helpline 181 for any sexual harassment complaint. You can send electronically to SMS to Chennai City, that number. Anti-ragging in colleges, that's the number. Suicide prevention helpline, that's the number. Ambulance 108. In a crisis, what to do? See, should an incident happen, God forbid, then the people should not be just apathetic, whether you are a girl or a boy or an older person. You must not be apathetic as it happened in the recent incident. That shows our whole society and nation and city in a very bad light. You immediately need to trigger, it's a human life there, bleeding. You see, the other day a person was hit by a van in Delhi, and then a rickshaw fellow comes not to look at the condition of the person who has been hit, but to pick up a cell phone. So this bystander apathy completely weakens our nation. And to overcome bystander apathy, I started this movement called Friends of Police in the year 1993. I said cops alone can't do it. Cops along with FOPs or Friends of Police can do it. Coincidentally, FOP and MOP rhyme. So MOP, I think, should be the first women's institution started, women's FOP unit, where all students will automatically be FOP. Who is a FOP? Friend of Police. Any citizen who is not involved in a civil or a criminal case. Civil also because they should not use their influence or access to the police to help them in a civil case. So it's made that pristine. No member of a political party I have allowed right from the beginning, the card holder to be, so that it doesn't get politicized. And thousands of people all over the state, women included, young girls, even from minority sections, trooped into police stations. You don't have to do that. You can do it online. And you can have your own college unit. You don't have to go out to the roads. You just take care of things in your college. And you create a forum where people can come to you and ask whom to approach. I have this problem. Somebody is talking. Somebody has sent me this message, abusive message. Or whatever be the issue, they will be problem solvers. Community policing is all about forming problem-solving partnerships between the public and the police. Public involves everybody, all sections of society, minorities, majority, all types of communities, congeries of communities, all types of professions. The auto rickshaw driver can tomorrow be either the person who helps you or it could be a dangerous offender. The rickshaw puller, everybody should be friends of police. So my goal is that 1 billion of Indians who are law-abiding, that's why the country is moving on, chugging into the 70th year. Not maybe as an express train, but fairly comfortably. So Friends of Police will energize every apathetic citizen into being an active partner. And not just being a friend of police, but they become their own friends first. You've got to be your own friends. Unless you respect yourself, love yourself, how would you care for another? So that's why you need to take these safeguards. Download that app on your phone. Know what to do when any situation happens. Be fully armed. Women, one of the best ways to equip them is they should be fully armed in every sense, mentally, emotionally. Emotionally, even if somebody has come off your picture, don't be so sensitive as to take extreme positions and steps. Instead, laugh it off. First, you have to report the offense, but as far as your mental, emotional reaction is concerned, don't allow it to get you down. And be resilient. The inner resilience, that's why I said you can build up an inner emotional resilience and find greater strength than even men within you. So that's how I've trained my daughters, wittingly or unwittingly. So once when my daughter was in Delhi, very often there used to be some incident or other. And they say, Dad, there's some guy following me. But she tells me much after it happened. She said she was driving a car, somebody was following. She just went to the nearest police station. That fellow was immediately left the area. Another time when she was in her room, she heard some noise outside and she said somebody is outside on the balcony. And she called me, I called the house owner and he found one guy running away. So there is no time when you cannot not be alert. You have to be constantly alert and watchful. Don't let out your personal details on Facebook or any other social media. Even your contact numbers should be kept sacrosanct. It be known only to people who need to know. You should not give rights to anybody else to share your numbers, even your closest friend, with another person. The phone is one of now the major devices by which predators are accessing their potential victims. But as I told you, you can turn it into a source of strength. Keep all these apps on your mobile at easy access so that you straight away you can report it. Then you have, when you're traveling, railway police, these are the toll-free numbers. Child line 1098, women helpline 1091, senior citizen line 1253. So it's not possible to memorize all this, so it's best to take a snapshot and keep it handy. Next. So be prepared, that is the best step to prevention. Be prepared, keep reading. A lot of stuff is now available on the net, on tap. Things are changing, laws are changing. Even many of these things I didn't know when I was preparing, I came to know about this app particularly. So there are lots of things that you can do on a daily basis. Spend about 5 minutes thinking about what security measures I need to take today or during this particular phase of my life. That being proactive, before a thing happens, think of it. That is policing. Every citizen has an inner policeman in him or her. To subsume it and realize it is the role of FOP. So every person needs to take care of his or her own security. Automatically the nation becomes secure. You'll have far fewer crimes. You cannot prevent crimes in an absolute level. You cannot say that tomorrow another incident of this nature will never happen. Human nature being what it is. But why should I or you be the victim? We can deter it. We can prevent it in real time. Next. So one of the ways is, apart from physical methods, it's all about emotional cues. The way you look can deter an offender. Sometimes the way you look can invite an offender. You'll make him realize that you are easy prey. So it is all training, mental, emotional judo you need to practice. The kind of, if somebody first recommends, how do you respond? You need not, even you can completely ignore the person. And something about you can convey the message that you mean business, that he'll be in serious trouble if he does anything inappropriate. Then you can move to the physical level. Krav Maga. See here you will see an Israeli girl. Krav Maga is itself the creation of Israelites, a form of self-defense. Wait. Here that guy comes and propositions this young girl, whom he never knows before, and then you see what happens. He goes to the restroom and is returning. They're discussing what to do. Most of the time, these guys in a pub or a thing, their inhibitions would be lower. What they would not normally do, inhibition to being lower, they take this risk. So those guys will never again try it with another woman. And these are easy techniques. The college can organize training for all the students, all the colleges you come from can organize it. It's time well spent. It's not very, time consuming to learn techniques. Because most of the time they don't know that you know something that they don't know. That they think that you are completely vulnerable and will be on the defense. But you can go into aggressive moves. You don't need that much strength to knock a man out. You need technique and skill. You should know vulnerable points. And you can regret it. Recently I saw